ConnectCall, it's Michael here. This tutorial we're going to be going over how you can set up your calendar, your schedule, so that you can start booking and having some calls to connect with family, friends, and then the rest of the app is for yourself, connecting with yourself. But how did we get here? Well, we've got a couple ways. From the home screen, you can click schedule and then go under create. Also down here at the bottom, we've got the little calendar icon will get you to your schedule, and then click create. I have the written out steps so you can go along with that, but if you're watching this, then you probably want to see how to do this. But we will be using a third-party site called Calendly. I've used this for years now for booking meetings, calls, application calls, my podcast calls that I had in my own business. I've used them for years and they are so great. So the one thing you can do if you currently have an account and you don't use the calendar, then you would just be updating your one free calendar to use for this. If you pay for an account, then you would just add on a new calendar, which you can do. Or if you have never used this, you would create one for the very first time. So if you click this button, it'll bring you to their login page. I was going to sign up for free, but it gets a bit confusing because they want to connect it with your calendar. So that's where you do if you've never done it, and you would just walk through. But I am going to go ahead and get logged in. And they are really wanting me to do this because in a previous one, I was trying to show you how to do a free one, and man, it kind of messed it all up. But this is essentially what you would be doing. And I actually already have given them access, so I think it's a bit of a glitch on their end. But we've got your Google Calendar hooked up because for them, this is what their service is used for. But this is where you can start getting into when are you available to meet with people. And for the purpose of this would be more so when are you available to call with people. So these are just weekly hours set up that they would suggest. So I'm actually going to go through this. So phone call, you will call the invitee because I already actually do have an account. So let's see. First meeting booked. Got it. Okay, so this is Calendly essentially, and you are allowed to have. So they did log me in with you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is as if I'm starting from new. So hooray, you get to see that. But this will be your calendar, and you have one free calendar in a free account, though I do suggest paying for them if you are at that point in your life or you have good use of them, because I do use them for my business here, and I've got lots of different calendars, so it is quite helpful. But you can view the booking page, copy the link. That will be helpful when you are coming back here to paste your link. But right now, this is not at all what I need it to be. So let's go ahead and edit this. We can edit the details, and I would say the best way to do it so that when people book it is to put ConnectCall in it so that it actually shows ConnectCall, because I have it programmed so it will show the name of your calendar and your contact who's booked with you. So that's why I would suggest calling it that. So ConnectCall. I think 30 minutes for a call is good. I would probably put an hour because I do like to talk, but keep in mind that your contacts you're talking to and inviting may be intimidated by an hour, being like, I don't have an hour to talk, but most people have 30 minutes, if not 15. Whatever you need these calls for, I just know myself, I do like to talk, and if I'm booking a call, it will probably be at least 30 minutes, but maybe a little bit more. But you can always write that in. Hey, let's get a time booked so we can connect and catch up. And then you could say we don't have to talk for the entire time if you only have a few minutes. I don't know, I probably wouldn't say that, but this is everything they are going to see. And so we have my name there, it's ConnectCall, that's what I'm using this calendar for. And then when they book it, they can see that. Okay, we're gonna save and close that. So we've got the summary there. I don't ever allow invitees to add guests. No, don't ever do that. I had that on once for a podcast, and someone I was interviewing invited someone else, and I was just like, okay, within a date range. So that's where I usually like to give it about like a month, but they do 60 days, whatever you want it to look like, or indefinitely if you are always available. And then this is where I always would go ahead and change the times because I do not like these times, I guess. But let's see. Okay, edit there for this event type only. Okay, so this is really, you guys, the most important thing, because when you send your link to them, that is what they are going to see. And so for most, like Sundays, I have a breakfast, I go to church, so I wouldn't be available until probably those times. And then, I don't know. Yeah, let's say 9 a.m. to about 11 a.m. I can figure that out. Which you're like, obviously you can't. Yeah, I can't. Okay, and then I'm also usually available in the afternoons from like 4 to 6. We can get there. So that's an example, and say I don't want any of these available, I can take those off. So right now I'm only available to talk to on Sundays and Mondays, but we will add these in just to make it look a little bit nicer. But hopefully you get the idea. It is very cool because you can break it into different chunks like that. And then say for this, so this is Thanksgiving, I am not available to talk. So you'll see here in the little preview, not available to talk. Another day I don't want to talk to anybody, I guess, is Christmas. Maybe I really don't do anything on what? Oh, okay, so you can select multiple, so New Year's Eve too. So those are the dates that I don't want to talk to anyone, I'm not available. So that is the nice thing, is why I think it's great to start with them is because Calendly has this all added in. So if you've got busy days, you can just take off those specific days, and then observed holidays, you can look into that even more. Just make sure you're saving and closing as you go. And then don't worry, we are almost done. But this is helpful if you say you want to have like 3 calls, but they're all back to back, and you don't want to go from like 3 o'clock to 3:30 for one call, and then the next one starts at 3:30 to 4. Then you can say there needs to be like 15 minutes in between calls, before them or after them, however you want it to be. Usually this is more so for like work meetings if you're doing a bunch of interviews with people. And then I usually say, I don't know, 4 hours. I feel like 4 hours is not enough for me. So 24 hours. I used to do that, or just do one day is nice to me, because ideally I would be sending these out knowing like, hey, let's book a time for tomorrow. So maybe then we could do like 20 hours. So that gives my person it gives no. Okay, it gives them 24 hours to get it booked. And then daily limit, that is also helpful. I would say I just want 2 calls a day, no more. So once, say, look over here on the 26th, if 2 people book this, then it will not show up. And then the next day they could book would be Wednesday. So I do suggest doing that, because maybe all of your people will want to talk to you on one day, and you're like, man, this would have been nice if I had them spread out. And then time zone, this, just leave it the same. So if I'm on the West Coast, I send this to you and you're on the East Coast, it will show 3 hours your time. So it won't show 11, it will show 1 p.m. is when I'm available to talk, which is 11 a.m. my time. Also, another great reason for using this site. And then 30 minutes is good, but you could also do 15. I don't know. Some people have really weird, like, I like to talk at 11:15. I'm like, okay, I don't know why, but sure. These are all ways to further customize it. And so I hope you're kind of seeing this will be where you do need to spend a little bit of time. But once you do, then you should be all set. So I would go ahead and edit the event link to ConnectCall, and then here's where we can make sure, so we want their name there. We don't allow them to add anything else. Actually, I think right here I do want to add, add a new question. So I don't really want to share anything, but we want their phone number, which it might actually ask them for that. 19 phone number. Okay, and so everything we do, we're going to test it. So you can send them somewhere else, but no, just leave that the same. That should be all good to go. So then, let us test it out. So if we go up here, we can view the live page. And then let's say for Tuesday, we want to book here. Then, okay, so they already asked for your phone number. So what does that tell me? We can go back here to booking and we can just delete this one. Okay, so let's go here. Let's refresh this one. Let's refresh and see. But if not, I mean, that's annoying. But it should be worked out. Well, maybe I didn't save and close. You guys see, man, making this video longer than it has to be. But if you set up that it was a phone call, as you saw in the beginning of this video, you should be all set. So then you would add your name, your email, because that your guest will get the notification on their end and a reminder. And if they have Google Calendar, then they can add it to their calendar so they can be reminded, and their phone number. And then as soon as they schedule the event, that is where it will then add it right here. So the last thing you need to do, so this is, we just got through step 1 and we got through step 2. Awesome. Now the very last thing is just to paste your link there. So if we were here, then we can click the share button and then we just copy the link. We add it in here and then we click update and it will be updated. Cool, right? So just to confirm, so let's click done. We created a calendar today. If you wanted to create another one, you could go from here, but it's just the event type, the very basic one. And if you are creating a new account, as you saw in this video, that's what it did for me. It'll take you through those steps, kind of asking you what do you need this for, and it will create a very simple one. You can copy the link quickly here. You can also share it again there. You can view the page, which is what we were already doing. I always suggest doing that, especially when you're new to this, to make sure, like, wait a minute, did I really say Fridays I could start talking at 9 and go all the way till, 4:30? It says 4:30 because 4:30 at a half-hour call would get you to 5. So if you want to talk during 5 to 6, you'd have to move it another hour. But most of everything you can do is start editing it here. I would strongly suggest that you call it ConnectCall, which you can do here. Add your duration, say that the location is a phone call, add anything else here. You could even say, hey, this is a new app I'm using to connect with friends and family. Yeah, that would be helpful. And then there, it's just for you. They can't invite anyone else. The biggest thing is when you are available to talk, how many events you want, how much notice they have to give, all of those things, your schedule. Woo-hoo-hoo. That will be important as well. And then from there, let's save and close. Make sure you're saving and closing everything. You just want to confirm. I would also add the ConnectCall at the end of it, just because this is your specific calendar for this app, so it will make it easy for you to remember. And there you go. Save and close, and you're all good to go. I think some of these you can set up. I don't know. Some of them you do need a paid account, but you can play around with that. Ideally, eventually, we will have some sort of notification system in the app. But once you've got it in here, then all you have to do is click invite. And when you click whoever is in your contact, it will, let's see if I can get it. This is on my computer, so it's a little different. Okay, so from there you can see it shows this. If I were to send that, Then let's say they go there. They're brought to my booking page. So I have one available tomorrow at 10 a.m. I always make up like such weird names. Let's see. Kitty cat. Do that one. It has to be a real one. So don't call me, please. So that's scheduled. That's as if I was the invitee. And then if we go back here, look, tomorrow at 10 a.m. I have a call with Kitty Cat. I can click that. Has all the information. Click that. And it will open FaceTime because I'm on my computer. But if you were on your phone, it would start calling Mr. Kitty Cat right away. But that's all you need. And as soon as you paste it, your calendar link here, it will also show up here. But this is also a secondary place where you can also update it. But basically, once you've created the calendar, you should be good to go. And if you do need help with this, definitely click the little question mark, reach out, because I am more than happy to jump on a call with you, especially during this MVP phase, if you need help setting up the calendar, because I do realize for someone who does not use Calendly or booking systems, this could be a little bit complicated, but I hope that this tutorial, as well as these steps, will really walk you through easily how to get that set up so that you can get started right away. But if you do need help, I am just an email away.